right, folks, so we're looking at this Recording King single zero size. Well, back away from it. Anyway, you'll get more of that in a minute. What I'm doing now is you can see I have my strings capoed down to the neck to get them out of the way, but I can't really put the straight edge on with them like that because I'm just on the fall away part of the neck. But suffice it to say, I had an 1/8 inch when I came off the neck. I was an 1/8 inch above, and let's get down here where you can see that. I was an 1/8 inch above that bridge. Now let me pop the saddle in there. Now you can see how high the saddle is. There's a transducer under it, piezo, whatever you want to call the thing, and that is too high. And if we can get in here really close, you can see that it's been glued back together. Now I got the bridge stuck in there, saddle. Anyway, on both ends, we've got the situation where it was glued more than once. It cracked the front of the bridge. So we will be taking the bridge off and building another bridge, just like this. This should be a pretty simple little bridge to build. I threw one of my pyramid bridges up here just for kicks and giggles. That would class it up a bit, but I need that elsewhere. So what I'm going to do is, this bridge is 3/8 of an inch thick. I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch to the thickness of this bridge. So I'm going to bring this up to 1/2 inch, which is, by all accounts, too high. But I want to have more depth in the slot to support the saddle. So rather than reset the neck, that's not really an option. This is, I think, almost a brand new guitar. So. And the other problem is, and I've mentioned this on those Vive guitars, or Vire, I think it was, you have to take material out of here to lower the string height, right? Because that's going to push the neck, or bring this end of the neck up when you do that. But you're also going to change the length of the scale, right? So you're going to be messing with intonation, to say the least. So my customer and I opted to add just some thickness to this bridge so that it better supports the saddle, and call it good. And that's what I'm going to do. All right, so we'll get into that. All right, so here we are with this little Recording King, and I'm going to peel this bridge off of here. This heat blanket gets up to about 350 in about 3 minutes. It takes a little time for the heat to go through down to the glue joint, but if it were a bridge that I needed to, just take off and put back on just because it was lifting and there wasn't anything wrong with the bridge, then I would I would worry about burning the bridge, but I'm not worried about burning this bridge. So I don't care if it gets hot enough to burn the bridge. And I've got this foil on here just to keep the heater from burning my weights here. I got lead ankle weights that hold it in place. And then I'll plug it in. It takes, like I said, it takes about 3 minutes to get up to about 300. And I'll check. The other thing I can do is I can smell. So I got 5 to the hour right now, 2 o'clock, but I'm going to give it about 5 minutes and check it. Use a separator knife. That's about 10/1000ths of an inch at the very leading edge, so it's easy to get under stuff with, especially if it's been creeping up a little bit. This bridge is very tight. I've already checked it. you kind of just get in your own way if you try to like tape around the bridge, because then you have to go down past the tape, which kind of gives you the wrong angle in, because you don't want to be hitting the grain of the wood at a sharp angle, because it'll cut into the wood and then you're going to peel the guitar, the top up, rather than just get the bridge off. I know it looks better when you tape it, or if you have a little piece of some sort of plastic there as a guard, but it doesn't really facilitate things. 109. I should have just bought the little temperature unit, you know, that controls it, and you just plug it in and dial in the temperature you want. But I didn't, so I kind of just have to maintain it, watch it constantly. And I'm working on my shop stand, my StewMax shop stand, and I mounted it right over close to the heater, but it's not good for recording, because every time the heater kicks in, obviously, it makes noise. It does take longer to heat up with the, you know, with it on the bridge, because the bridge is soaking up some of that heat. I checked it prior to starting, and it got to like 300 in about, you know, 3 minutes. So it definitely reacts different when it's on the wood. Didn't get very hot. It's probably not gonna do much. Yep, didn't do much of anything. No action. I'm going to go ahead and shield the guitar on the edges. Even though the blanket's not hanging over, it causes some sweat to occur there. I don't think that's an issue, but I don't want to take any chances. And I'm just going to put it on for, say, 10 minutes. Okay, well, we gained a little bit there. Let's put it in for another 10. Yeah, I'm definitely going to let it go longer. It's not even warm to the touch inside. The ankle weight really helps just keep pressure down on everything. So another 10 or maybe 12 minutes. I'm not smelling anything terribly burnt. You can usually start to smell the oil in the rosewood as it heats up. The timer for 13 minutes.
13 minutes, counting down.
as we continue. I did have my hand there. It's quite a bit warmer on the inside. I don't know what kind of glue they used, but it's stuck down. I should have measured it when I first took it off. Just curious. Yeah, it's only showing 110 right now. 130 up here. And having to put way too much force on that. That's how you screw stuff up. When you have to put too much force on it. I'm just going to keep working at it like this, and when I get further into it, I'll bring you back in. This is just kind of a waste of your time. Alrighty, made a bit more progress the last time, so I thought I'd bring you in. It's only been 2 other times, I think. It might have just been the 1 other time, but we definitely are getting somewhere here. It's definitely, I don't know if it just, you know, from starting from cold, yeah, we're, top of that bridge is at about 170 degrees now. Definitely warming through the guitar. So I think these glue spots actually glued the bridge down as well. I had definitely gotten in over here pretty good. I'm probably set up right in your line of sight. Something right there. I don't know if there's a it could be pins, could be locating pins or something in there that I'm running into. You can't see this, but you can see the tip of the blade coming through this A string hole here. So I'm just past the holes there. Now I didn't heat up this end at all during the last one. So I want to go in over here if I can. Yeah, there might be a locating pin in there. Really not having a lot of luck with this back edge here. A little bit before over here, but I hadn't heated anything up. The top is still fine. I have these little pieces of bridge material coming out with the knife. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and heat this end up and the whole thing again, because I am doing pretty well here. I do want to point out that before I ever started this, there was this mark on the top right here. I think it was just some of this glue and ebony dust or whatever, wood dust that they tried to glue the bridge down with. Anyway, I tried to basically, you know, scratch it off of there and all that before I started. Anyway, it's still there. I don't like to poke through the other side either, because if you happen to be under the grain, which I can tell I'm not because of the holes here, but if you were and you came through, you would come out underneath the finish, and that's not a good look. All right, I'm going to, don't ask me how I know that. I'm going to go ahead and heat this other end again. I think there must be a locating pin right there, as hard as that is to, as much as it doesn't want to slide under there. So I accidentally left this thing on once, just plugged in, hanging on the end of the cord, and I don't think it's ever been quite right since then. So I don't think the heating is very consistent. I should probably just spend the money. All right, I was going to say probably should just spend the money and get a new one, or I'd actually even just considered getting a heat lamp, because there's a couple guys I've been watching lately that have using heat lamps, and they seem to have really good success with those. Just let it cook. You know, you do have to build a shield that keeps you from frying the top of the guitar, but there's only, you know, a handful of bridge designs. Anywho, that's it. We'll carry on again here in a minute. Looks like rosewood. Should definitely have a little more access on this side now. There again, is that about the same place that the other one stops? Yeah, close. I think there's a pin. No, maybe not. It seems to be pushing through. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they use something extra special right on this back edge here or what, glue-wise, but man, it does not want to come out of there. It's going through here. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't like poking out the other side. Twice now. Okay. Ta-da! Well, take a little bit of top meat with it, but not much. Huh. Interesting. Well, anyway, so now we're going to outline this with masking tape and then scratch back. You can see what they did here. So their glue surface was on top of the finish for, you know, 3/16 of an inch here. And on the back they did a little better. Maybe that's why it was hanging on better. There's not a relief. A lot of times they'll cut a relief in the edge all the way around and come in from this outside edge, and then the you get a little better glue joint down to the wood, but here they just have this the thickness of the paint filled up with glue. It held. I mean, that wasn't the issue with this bridge, so I can't say that that was necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, you really want to have as tight a wood joint as possible, not having the glue make it up. I'm just looking at this glue. This does not feel normal. It's usually the glue gets kind of gooey feeling, and there's no goo at this at all. This is just very, very brittle. I don't know. I have to look this up and see what they use, if there's any reference to that anywhere. All right, that's it for now. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to surround this with masking tape. I'll clean this up. I'm already working on the other bridge, and I'll bring you in for some of that at some point.